Oh, we're doing something.
Okay. All right, kids. Time for Bingo is Life. Episode 5,723.
Yeah, 25.
If
I'm
man is still alive,
And podcasts do survive.
they will find.
I'm still Jay Zaire over here, joined by the Howdy Show brothers.
Hey.
Hola.
Christopher and Prom King himself. Michael
Ah, apparently that's me.
That's you this evening.
They
Okay.
also call him John Steinbeck.
Whoa.
Mom Shackles. One of her
Welcome.
I don't know what introduce. She doesn't like me to introduce her at all.
I just named.
We have a special guest in the secret
A surprise guest.
Surprise
A surprise
in the,
guest for
I just-
even us.
I
and
felt
it's-
really evil, just this evil impulse to not tell you.
Yeah,
anything.
so
Yeah.
just to share with the listener behind the scenes here. Normally, we talk about who's going to be on the episode.
we send each other
We
links.
send texts and links to say, hey, here's who we're talking to. This is some things we want to talk about.
Last week you had a whole list.
Yeah,
of
a whole
questions that
list.
you shared.
Yeah, yeah. And this week, nothing.
Nope.
Nothing.
Crickets.
It's like the old "What's My Line" program,
Yeah.
which is before all of your time. And this is even so. We had to put on the masks, like
Oh,
when they bring
right.
the celebrity.
Oh, that's all right.
Listeners will probably know. Like,
Sure.
we'll probably put it in the whatchamacallits.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess there might be the name might be in the title. I still don't know the person.
Uh-huh. She's
Okay.
sitting across from you.
Oh, this
She's-
is
she's
this is
right
the person
there.
right now. Okay,
I think
She's
I think
right.
she's right there. Okay,
I
the
think they identify-
password is.
But let's talk about bingo real quick, and then we'll.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it was a
introduce
good.
our-
It was a good night. It
Yeah.
was. It was.
This is what I like to call vacation Harrisonburg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Right. Right.
Yeah, we have all these wonderful people that. So tonight, for me, the highlight. I'm sure this couple will not hear this, but they were here last year.
Make them.
Yeah.
They
Yes,
were.
right.
They were. His wife was pregnant, and this year they came back and
And they brought the baby.
And they brought the baby.
Baby's on the outside.
Yeah, and I got to meet the baby.
Malik.
I can't remember.
They
the
sit
name.
up there in the corner next
Yeah.
to the.
Yeah.
I met the baby too.
And it was the baby's cute. They're
Jay
great.
shook his hand.
They're a cute family, and they're so pumped to be back.
Yeah,
and that we
yeah.
were still doing this thing a year later.
Yeah.
And they came up to me and they were like, "We have a bingo baby, we have a
Right,
bingo
right.
baby," and you could tell that he was the proud papa, and it was just sweet.
Yeah.
It was a
So-
sweet moment.
We need to start selling some rompers amongst the merchandise for bingo.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Live.
Yeah.
Another highlight of the evening is I sold the last Bingo is Life T-shirt.
Yay.
That's right. That's
Time
very
to
good.
order more.
So now it's time to order another round. I
Yeah,
guess.
maybe I will. Maybe I
Eventually,
will.
someday.
Yeah, I think you got to wait. Like maybe in 6 months, people will be like clamoring for
Get
them.
them while they're hot.
Yeah, yeah.
Off
You gotta-
the press.
Yeah, yeah. They need to be clamoring. That's
Now,
that's the
to
word
give
I'm
a shout out, who's the folks that are making these shirts?
Oh, it's the market.
The market.
Yeah.
Yeah, here
Downtown.
in Harrisonburg.
Jeff Gwynn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous artists. Yeah.
yeah.
Our-
Is
that
you know
Jeff-
what? Our guest knows who that is.
Oh, good. Good.
Ooh, one clue.
Ah, yeah, one clue. Yeah.
I
The
even know
mystery
who that
continues. Jay can remember that name.
Okay, so just want to briefly touch on. We had a wonderful weekend this last weekend. We had a
Yes.
great show. I want a big thanks to Nathan Moore
Yes,
and Julia.
absolutely.
Catherine Cottrell.
Yes.
That whole scene was awesome, and Justin came, which was really fun. And it was just it was a wonderful mix of humans. Sagebird did a great job
Fantastic host.
of giving us a space
Yep.
and creating as much of a listening room as you could on a Saturday night
Yep.
in Harrisonburg.
On graduation.
On
weekend.
graduation weekend, and we had a packed house, so I can't ask for anything more. So thanks to everybody who participated and all the people who came.
It was a very good
you
experience.
guys are awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
Congratulations.
How was your life?
We had a really good turnout for becoming Led Zeppelin.
Oh,
It was really fun. It's fun when
mama.
is that the way you move? Yes. Oh yes. You can come wail again tomorrow at 2:00. The final showing of Becoming Led Zeppelin. It's party in the middle of the day.
Oh, that's similar.
man, I should take
Sometimes I
Oliver
wish
to that. It's his birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm
2
pulling him
o'clock,
out of
man.
school early.
And so we're opening the doors at 1:30, and you can come in. I'm playing this is a playlist off of YouTube of songs by Led Zeppelin, and it's just got the lyrics on it. So it's kind of fun just to see. I never know what the lyrics or songs are, and some of those lyrics are pretty screamy.
Little racy.
They're all about
You know what?
Satan.
The people that were at the show on Friday, some of them are really like rockumentaries and rock movies, and they have been requesting the movie Heavy Metal.
Oh yes,
which is quite racy.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you ought to get into.
Have you seen them?
John Candy.
Have I seen Heavy Metal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It was quite racy.
Oh yeah. We used to watch that one. That was one
I'm
of.
sure
that was,
you did. That was a coming of age situation for
I'm
you.
a young lad and now I've seen heavy metal. Nothing like that happened. So-
Cartoons can be weird.
Yeah. Totally.
What
weird.
time of day will the Pride and Prejudice trivia be?
So we are also we're trying to like do some amped up film things like events around the films to make them more enticing so people come out. So we've
The way you said enticing, it was
Enticing?
almost like threatening.
please
We
come
want to make them more
support-
enticing.
Please support downtown businesses, dear sweet Lord.
That's where we are.
Yeah. Support downtown businesses and local artists, please.
Of course.
Anyway, so yes, we've partnered with another downtown business, the Lady Jane Boutique.
Nice.
And that store is named after Jane Austen, and there are lots of little trinkets in there that are book related, just book nerd related, and other sweet little gifts. We partnered with them. Sarah is writing up the trivia for Lady Jane Austen trivia that we're going to have.
Is it
before-
Jane Austen in general or just Pride and Prejudice? 'Cause-
Dude, I gave her free reign. I said, do whatever
Oh.
you want. If you want to talk about what kind of shoes Jane Austen wore, or if you want to talk about production details
she wore Mary
on the
Jane's,
movie.
right?
Yeah, like anything. Like if you want to go down the rabbit hole of Keira Knightley or whatever, we're showing Pride and Prejudice on June 4th at 7 p.m. If you come early, 6:30, you can participate in Jane Austen trivia and potentially win some prizes from the Lady Jane. We're also going to have biscuits and tea.
Oh.
Little biscuits. And by biscuits, I don't mean like biscuits. I mean like cookies.
Yeah.
Those accents were everywhere.
They were all
were
over
all
the
over
place.
Can I segue from that? I was studying, but I'm not going to be able to come to that because I will be in rehearsal for Waiting for Godot.
Hey.
That's another
I-
way that you can
I'm
support
going to mention
downtown
that.
businesses.
It's earlier than the Dylan thing. So
Well, no. What's
bringing it
what's
up.
fun though is
Yeah.
that we have the Waiting for Godot cast is going to come on
Yeah.
our podcast,
Cool.
Yes,
which
sir.
is really exciting.
Jay, you're in that.
I am in that.
Yeah, that's
So
you,
we're
buddy.
doing it right now. That cast is here.
The cast is here.
And then I got one more. White Oak Lavender Farm.
Yep.
May 31st. Dr. Howe and the Reasons to Live playing from 5:30 to 8:30, and it's a free show.
11 days away.
11 days.
There's a lot
away.
going on that night.
I know.
too.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot going on that night. But hey, for all you guys that like lavender and being in a farm in the
And
evening,
oak.
They have wine,
they have wine, they have
delicious
beer,
wine. They have,
They have-
delicious treats.
they have fire pits.
It's a beautiful place.
It actually is. It is
Yeah.
gorgeous. So yeah, I'm excited about it, and we get to play there a couple times this summer. So it's good.
Woot woot. And I have Fables on Thursday. And we have a guest.
Ah.
Fables, Fables.
Ooh.
So the big surprise.
The big surprise.
Tell me.
No?
No,
Okay,
I wanna know.
Oh, I thought you said don't tell me.
No, I
was
wanna
like,
know.
okay,
I want to
podcast
know.
over.
I gotta know.
All right, so tonight's guest is a intrepid young lady named Vian Ozic. She contains multitudes.
Ooh.
I met her when she was sitting on front row at our improv shows. Very supportive, with a great group of friends that she would bring to most of the First Friday shows, and just watching you all have fun was part of what made the shows so much fun for me. And then I found out where she works, or where she worked at the time, and then I found out what she was studying, and she's graduated. Congratulations!
Thank you.
From JMU. And but I met Vian, and she was working at Pink Ambition, and she has so many amazing thoughts about it, because you're doing pole fitness.
Yes.
So she's combining art, dance, and fitness in this, and she's teaching it Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that sounds great. Well,
Yeah.
welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
So I
Yay.
didn't tell the guys anything about her because I was like, they're gonna get nervous. They're gonna be like, oh, it's a girl that does really girly things. Not really girly things.
Oh, thank you for thinking so much of us.
Yeah, boy.
I,
A lot of trust there.
A lot of trust.
I have a lot. I'm so like. I think Vian is so cool. Like that.
Yeah.
That like.
Okay,
I'm
so
cool-
first I want to
glad
make sure I'm
she's
saying
here.
it right. Vian?
Vian.
Yes.
Vian, is that right?
Yes.
That's the place on the East Market still? Is that where Pink Ambition is?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I don't know anything about Pink
Yeah.
Ambition.
So it's
Tell me about
The
that.
official name is Pink Ambition Pole Fitness. So I'm
okay.
a pole dancer.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And at the time we met, I was an instructor and I was also the manager there. So yeah. And then recently, so like educational side of me is I did my undergrad at JMU in biology. And then I just finished my master's at EMU in biomedicine. And now I'm
Wow.
applying to dental school to become a dentist.
Oh. Well, congratulations on all those things.
Oh, I
That's
know.
awesome.
Those are huge accomplishments.
Yeah.
We'll like have conversations, and Vian will just pull knowledge out of places. Just knowledge about so many different things that it's wild. It's so cool.
Yes, I think I'm like quite dorky, and people are like, "No," and I'm like, "You really haven't engaged in a conversation with me." Like,
That's funny. Where did you grow up?
I'm from Virginia Beach.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. What
757.
brought you to
But
here?
prior to that, you told me you were born.
Oh, in Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
You can give something
Saskatchewan.
away. Really?
Now, is there a reason you whispered that?
She didn't want to. She didn't want to sell the joke.
Oh,
I told her to tell us she grew up Mennonite in Saskatchewan. So.
Yeah, but he said he was going to set me up for the job.
Oh,
I was not set up by the right person.
Dr. Howdy, she jumped in ahead of time. It's all good.
Sorry.
So you weren't born in Saskatchewan, because I will believe anything you tell me.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
No,
Because
I
you're
was.
such an interesting.
That's where the polos come from. They have really good wood up there in Saskatchewan.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact, a lot of pole dancing did originate in Canada. Canada has amazing pole studios. Yeah, I've always wanted to go up there.
Well, where did it? How long has it been around?
Oh my gosh. So the history of pole dancing dates back to like BC times. It can be seen in Chinese pole, and that's where they have like two, like, you know, the parallel bars for men's gymnastics. Okay, that, but vertical. But same kind of poles, same kind of bars.
And they
and so-
jump between them.
Yes,
Cool.
you maybe
Oh,
have seen
man.
it. And then
Yeah.
there's I'm gonna butcher how you say this, but it's like malakab or something like that, which is an Indian sport, also like from forever ago, and it was used by wrestlers. And it's also a pole. Yeah, like an ancient Indian sport. So it dates way back, but like modern pole dancing, it kind of like we have those, which are the sports side, and then through like back in the I really hate saying like early 1900s. I hate referring it to as the
Victorian era,
1900s.
the turn
Yeah.
of the century.
I hate saying that. I was born on 2000 on the dot. So
The
it sounds-
industrial era.
I know it sounds terrible, but anyway, through that, you got like the hoochie coochie burlesque, and then that slowly formed into like it all became the same thing: erotic dancing, then stripping, and then strippers brought modern pole dancing into pole studios. From pole studios, it's diversified into like so many different things, but so I can't say like pole dancing comes from like Chinese pole or
Right,
Indian.
right, right.
It came from so many different backgrounds, but modern pole was brought into studios by strippers.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
The mechanics of it are fascinating.
Yeah.
Because you're doing a lot of physics.
Yes.
You're doing physics.
It is physics.
And you have a couple different kinds of poles, like a turning one and a stationary one. And
Yeah, so
that's so cool.
Yeah, like a lot of poles, like when studios first opened, were just stationary, like a regular pole outside. And now poles can be stationary or they spin.
Whoa.
There's metal, there's brass, there's silicone, there's all these different types, and we get lumped under like aerial sports. So that's lyra. Maybe you've seen silks and those
right.
kinds of things, and then all those apparatuses have different variations too. So it's multifaceted. Yeah.
Are there competitions?
Yes, I actually compete. Yeah.
No, what do they judge you on?
Well, it depends what category you go in. So I myself, I was actually a gymnast for 12 years. And so I do the championship category. So I compete through PSO, Pole Sport Organization, and that's one of, I don't know, hundreds. There's so many just in the whole world. And so I compete in the championship category, which is closest to gymnastics. So they're judging difficulty of transitions, moves, lines, how clean you are, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You get off the ground for something like that?
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah. They brought you had been part of an event that was supposed to be at one location and then got moved to another
Yes.
location due to politics. But you were
Yes.
working. It was a collaboration with Pink Ambition and Rocktown Rollers and Rhinestone Productions.
Yes.
And I was like,
What a
this
fun
is the
group.
show I want to go to.
Yeah.
And so you had it at Restless Moons outside, out back.
Yes.
And you just popped a pole right up there.
Yes.
on
They're
the deck.
portable poles.
Okay,
Cool.
portable poles.
I've seen the portable poles on the top of Reddish Knob.
Yes. So that's where we do our photo shoots.
Yes.
We do a
Oh,
summer.
okay.
Yes, we do a summer photo shoot
How do you
every
se-
year
How do
there.
you secure that? I mean, that would be easy to knock over, right?
So the base is like 300 pounds,
Okay,
and then the
okay.
pole's like stabilized and
Okay.
screwed into the center of the base.
So the main
tall
part,
is-
the main part of the job is moving the base.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is. Each panel is like 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And
Oh my lord.
yeah, but that one itself is 10 feet tall, but poles can be, endless. I've seen 20 feet poles. The poles
Yeah.
at the studio are like 10 feet,
Right.
Every competition has a different regulation size for
So if it's a
their
20-foot pole, you're going all the way up to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
you just
They were-
might. You
they-
just might.
They were out back at Restless
Yeah.
and just climbing these poles, and
Right.
you see the strength that it takes
Yeah.
to do that, because you're lifting yourself with your arms, you're
Mm-hmm.
using one leg.
And you're
It's-
and you're doing all that and trying to be sexy at the same time.
Not always.
Okay.
Yeah, so the theme of that show specifically, so it was our Pride show. We were raising money. I think we ended up raising like 3,000. It was something
wow,
crazy.
that's
Well, I mean, between the
amazing.
three groups, I think
Yeah.
we all have a pretty good amount of pool in the local community and all that. And that, oh gosh, was that our Disney show?
Oh, okay. Cool.
I don't know that there was much
No,
of a
that
theme.
one. I think that one just the theme was Pride.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was our other one at Restless Moon. It was a Disney show, and then
Right.
we did another one before that. But yeah, so it depends what you're going for. Some, we get a lot of people from other sports. So like me, I was a gymnast, soccer player. We have someone that did track. We get ballerinas. We get, people from all walks of life. So we get some really contemporary dancers. We get some people that are they're like, I want to do a pole routine to like heavy metal, and I'm like,
Yeah.
cool. I'm like, how do we do that?
Yeah.
Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So, I guess like kind of if I go through competition, it can give you like not everything's sexy. So there's a sexy category.
Sure.
Right.
It can be called. Right now, I think it's called sensual. They keep changing it. There's a lot of
stigmas.
stigmas in the pole world.
Yeah,
So
right.
it used to be called erotic,
Right,
or
right.
I'm not erotica, exotic.
Mm.
And exotic itself is a term that in the pole community is very stigmatized, but it's also it's
Yeah.
racist. It's
Yeah.
it's
Exotic
not,
is racist.
Yeah.
yes, because
Yeah.
it refers to like
Not-
predominantly people of color coming
Right,
over from
right.
other countries, and then they were referred to as
Yeah,
exotic.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to the exotic Swedish immigrants in Saskatchewan.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm trying to back out of this one gracefully.
You asked a very good question.
No,
It's
it's
like,
okay.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
is like open. Not a lot of people know, and it was an issue within the pole community itself. It
Yeah,
divided.
right.
It divided the pole community because a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's just like the word exotic quite literally means like from somewhere
Yeah,
else,"
right.
and people are like, "Yeah, but it targets people
Yeah,
of color
right.
from different
Right.
countries."
Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I heard politics being mentioned and stigma being mentioned. Is there still a pushback against that locally here in this community?
What in the Mennonite town of Harrisonburg is there pushback?
I think that event that I mentioned I don't want to go into it because I don't really want to like say anything about anybody, but yes,
Yeah.
there was
There
pushback.
was-
but I think it was
yeah.
more towards the drag queens.
Yeah, it wasn't actually us. It was against
It
like
was towards
Yeah.
the people that were wearing the most clothes at that event.
yes, which
Right.
is crazy.
Right.
Yeah, and so we were just all that happened is we were told there was going to be protesting at that location, and
There
so
probably wasn't.
we don't know, and it kind of fell apart, and so the owner of our studio is actually good friends with the people over at Restless Moon, and I walked over. I remember it like happened within 10 minutes. I drove from one location to the other, and I walked over and I was like, "Hi, we need a place to do this show," and he was like, "Yeah, go ahead." Like it was very simple.
Right.
Yeah,
That
so
was another one of those cases of restless moons coming to the
Yeah,
rescue. 'cause
yeah.
No,
But
we had
like
an event
they're
that
really
night,
good
and
about
it was
that.
like,
yeah. But
Thank-
by ourselves, yes, we do face a lot of stigma. Like usually
Right.
when I say pole dancer, the first thing I get, they're like, "So you're a stripper?" And I'm like,
right,
"No,
right,
no, I've never stripped. I've never done that."
right.
But as someone in the pole, so like a lot of people distinguish like I'd be pole sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'd be like a pole sport aerialist artist, however
Right.
you want to say that.
Right.
And then there's strippers or sex workers, right?
Mm.
And even within the pole community, there's a lot of divide over that. Unfortunately, because a lot of people, like myself, like let's say, you walk into a pole studio and you're like, okay, this is cool. Like this isn't what I thought it was, right? That's a lot of what we get. Oh, I thought this was going to be stripping. No.
Right. Is that the biggest preconception you deal with? You
Yes.
think? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And so, but then what happens is people go out in the world and they get excited about pole and they're like, oh my God, I did pole dancing. And people are like, well, you're a stripper. And they go, no, I'm not. And they get defensive.
Yeah,
well,
sure.
that's where the divide is created
I
because
see.
it's like, yeah, but you have to acknowledge where pole came from. Just
Right.
because we do a different kind right now, like since it's been brought into studios and like,
Right.
capitalized on.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of variations now, but now who suffers is strippers when you put that down and sex workers and say, well, that's not me. They're different. And it's like, that's not fair because a lot of studios were founded by strippers.
Right. Right.
So we,
Okay.
even in the pole community, face that divide.
Now you're talking about the athletic aspect of it. You're going up a 20-foot pole. Does it lend itself to a certain kind of physique? I mean, same as gymnastics. Is it better to be a smaller person?
No, like literally any, we always say any body can do it.
Anybody.
Yeah.
I would assume strength would help.
Strength does help.
yeah, you develop
Are there
strength
men?
for
Are there
sure.
men doing it?
Oh my goodness, yes. There's pole camps all
Yeah.
over the world, and there's one with Dmitry Politov. He's the international world champion multiple years in a row, and I took a camp with him in Turkey, and it was just insane. It was the best camp ever. Yeah, a lot of amazing men do pole, and it even looks different on the men's side. You get a lot of like the flips, and not that the women don't do that, but
Right.
women kind of dominate on the flexibility side
Sure.
and that kind of stuff. So
Do you have to? You can dismount in the middle of your routine. You can do a flip off the pole
Yes.
and get back on.
yeah, so most pole competitions have two poles. It's like one and then the floor, and then the other, there's about 8 to 10 feet between the poles. And so I don't know, the best I could say is imagine a gymnastics floor routine, but there's
Yeah.
two poles in the center.
They're
Right.
jumping
Yeah.
between the poles up in the air.
Yeah.
Some jump between poles. It depends if the competition allows. Some competitions don't allow you to
Right.
jump from pole to pole due
Yeah.
to liability.
Yeah,
Seems
right.
like 8 feet seems pretty challenging.
yeah, yeah.
A leap.
Yeah, it'd be quite the leap of faith. Like Chinese pole, though, that's very common because the poles are very, very
They're
close.
close.
together.
Ah,
yeah,
okay,
like
yeah.
that'd be something you'd
Yeah.
see all the time. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Okay, cool. All right, so in figure skating, when they do these different things, and they have really interesting names.
Triple Lutz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do what's some interesting names of moves that you guys do on the pole?
Okay, so I'll tell you, my favorite move is called a spatchcock.
Nice.
And it literally,
yeah.
You'll have
some
to
people
edit that
call
out.
it like a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, the
because,
rotisserie
like,
chicken. Yeah.
yeah, because it literally looks like that. There's Iron X, I'm sure, like human flag. I'm sure you've seen men most often do that on the pole
Yeah.
side.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like in the
Human
street, a
flag.
lot of
Yeah.
people do that. Let's see, there's Aishas, there's Jalegras, there's Pegasus, there's all these different crazy
Whoa.
fun names.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I would imagine that this a sport that seems to be fun. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the
Oh, it's
that's
so
part
much fun.
part of it is
So
the joy.
in the competition side, are there also creative or artistic?
yeah, that's actually a category.
It's the okay, good.
Artistic, yeah.
Okay.
Or like dramatic, so that's where you get
All
a
right.
lot of your
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I'm sad.
And
Oh,
you're,
okay,
I mean, you're dancing. It's a dance
Yeah.
performance. So
Yeah.
you
Sure.
can do it. You can tell an entire story
Right.
up and down with
Yes.
movements. And you all are selecting your own music. So you can
Yes.
tell so much of a story with the music as well. It's like any dance routine, really.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
dance
And when you get people up there,
choreographed
because there
routine.
is a floor component, you can automatically tell someone does like a back handspring. You're like, they were a gymnast and now they
Yeah,
found pole. Or
yeah,
like,
right.
you know, when we get our contemporary people and they're just like on their toes, like crushing them, you know, like ballerinas on
Yeah.
point. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, you were a dancer. I like,
We
you
get
know?
it.
Yeah. So it's kind of fun to spot out like where people are coming from.
Yeah.
I always like to say pole is people's like next sport. You know, we do a lot when we're young, and actually a lot of people, well, it's because most studios are 18 and up, but
Right,
a lot of
right.
people get into it after college, or like we
Right.
get a lot of moms postpartum.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's a very body positive space.
Yes.
I love the solidarity that
Yes.
that you bring to the table personally. Like you are just, you're such a good feminist. It's like, there's this, like, oh man,
So
she's so
someone
cool.
that's local to the area, how can they get to know you? How can they get involved
Well, she's moving
with this
away.
community?
But
Oh, great!
But you know what?
What about the local community? then?
You just go to Pink Ambition Pole Fitness. You can
Okay.
walk up in there, or you can visit our site, pinkambitionsfitness.com. Wow.
So you have a whole community of pole enthusiasts
Yes.
in Harrisonburg, like
Yes.
the pickleball community. And,
Yes.
is it a lot? Dozens, hundreds?
hundreds.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really interesting. Everybody, there's all these little things, and
Niches.
you never. I would have
Oh, I
never.
know, right?
I never heard of it. I wouldn't have thought that there was pole dancers. around
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's you know what? Me either.
Yeah.
Although there was a gal that, and I can't remember her name. I feel like it was Julia. She used to work at Clementine.
Juliana. That's how I got
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
my first pole class
Yes.
ever. So my aunt was a pole dancer from Canada.
wow.
And that's where I got the idea. And I did my first like year at JMU, or like my freshman year. And I was in a Maymester. All my friends left, went back home for summer. And I was like really sad because I stopped all my sports. I had just like, before I came into college, I broke my foot and then got a concussion. And I was like, I don't do sports anymore.
Right.
Yeah, it was crazy. And so I got a little depressed, and I was like, I've been athletic my whole life. I need to find something. And I just looked up, or no, I told my boyfriend at the time, and he was like, I work with someone. And I was like, okay. And he was like, it's Pink Ambition Pole Fitness. And I was like, okay. So I went there, and it was like, I didn't tell anyone else. And I was like, this is where I belong.
Yeah, right.
And so I ran here, and he was actually working here at Ruby's. And I ran up to the bar, and I was like, oh my God, I did my first class, blah, blah. And Juliana turned and swiveled toward me, and she's like, hi, I'm Juliana. And like, I'm the one that told him about it.
Yeah.
And she
Okay.
sat on a bar napkin and wrote down, she's like, you were a gymnast, you're going to compete. After my first class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And she wrote on a napkin all the categories, levels, everything,
Oh, that's
how it
cool,
worked.
yeah.
And like, we've been best friends ever since.
Very
That's really
cool.
cool.
Oh, she's amazing.
She started like, I mean, I've seen her family grow.
Oh, yeah.
in the front row of improv. Like,
Yes.
she would come with you guys and come with the gals, and then she got pregnant,
Yeah.
and we watched her develop through that, and
Yeah.
then she disappeared for a little bit, but like she
It's
started
okay.
bringing her mom and dad. And
Oh my
so
God, they're the best.
It's so cute just to look out and see them on the front row, and they're all there. So
Yeah, I love her dad. So her dad, Dr. Holland, said he actually teaches at JMU, and I had him as my organic chem professor. Yeah.
Awesome.
So it was really awesome. It also wasn't nice because when I was competing, and he was like, why haven't you turned this in? And he's like, are you at the studio more than you're studying? And I was like,
Dun,
no,
dun,
Dr.
dun.
Holland said. Texting Juliana, stop telling your dad to know my life. Like,
So
small
it-
town.
yeah.
It sounds intimidating, but I'm assuming there is also an avenue for a lower athletic person to approach it. Say you're
Beginner
say you're
classes.
an
Oh, yeah,
older
yeah.
person and you're out of shape and you're not really. You just want to get back into doing things.
Do you have a friend?
Say you're like 67 years old and can't get out of bed anymore.
My friend Gina took a class like for a couple times, and that was how I found out about
But
it.
they're accepting of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So our beginner class is made that anyone can walk in off the
That's
street.
cool.
You guys are
and
just
do
like
it.
holding the pole and just trying to pull yourselves up,
Yeah,
and getting
yeah, we
familiar
make
with your
it-
limitations.
Yeah,
really.
we're like, these are the basic hand positions. This is, maybe how you work on momentum. Like,
Right.
we'll teach you little moves here and there. And we really build it up because there is no sport like pole. Like, even in the gym, there's nothing like people can do pull-ups, right? But we're
Yeah.
doing this kind of, I don't know how to,
Vertical.
vertical. Yeah, not like a horizontal. I don't know how on podcasts to like.
How to explain it in a
Yeah,
podcast? Right.
but even the way you use your muscles, like we get a lot of CrossFitters that are like, I'm gonna knock this out of the park, and we're like, all right,
Right.
calm down, and and there's some things they're really good at, but then they're like, oh, I was humbled,
I
you
heard-
know, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Miss that muscle.
Yeah, exactly. You use your muscles in a different way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very cool.
Yeah, Gina came back. Like I think we were working together at that time, and she came in the next day, and she was like, "I can't use my arms
Oh yeah.
at all,
Oh yeah.
just from trying to."
Well, I love this kind of story. Obviously, this is about a community I know nothing about, and to to hear about it, being active, and it sounds like it's thriving.
Yes, yes.
And it's local, and I think that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
They've done demonstrations at certain events.
Yes.
Downtown,
Yeah, we're
like,
always JMU
the
Block
square.
Party, best weekend ever. They always set us up right on the square, and it's really funny. We actually get a lot of kids that are really excited.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and they're kids like don't have cartilage or bones or anything, and they're just like I want to go, and they fly, and I'm like, yeah, it took me 5 years to do that move, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Like
no worries.
and the parents are like, where can we sign them up?
Yeah,
and we're
right.
like,
no.
18 and up,
Yeah,
but like
right.
What was there a room for a child pole studio?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of studios that have that allow children's pole. The reason we don't is honestly it's just like an insurance thing. Like
Yeah,
the moment you allow
right.
children into your space,
Yep.
it's just
Right.
that's
Yeah.
all it is. It's
Right.
not that we don't want them. Like we really tried, but it never
Yeah.
came to fruition. Yeah.
So Vian you have also studied medicine.
Yes.
And you're moving to Virginia Beach, and you're going to be continuing your path towards dentistry.
Yes.
So
Everyone floss.
everyone knows.
Too late.
Do you?
No, I love flossing. I'm glad you said that. You know what? I had the best advice a dentist ever gave me. She said, she said, look, just take the purple stuff. She was like, just do the purple stuff.
Oh, the thing that you put in and you see where you missed.
No. There's like this
That's
there's like this mouthwash that she's like, it's purple. She's like, just use that when you're done. And so I bought this purple stuff, and I feel like ever since then I've been good.
Changed your life.
Changed
huh?
my life. It's probably it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Are you going to specialize in anything?
You don't want to hear about my purple stuff anymore?
Done so fast. It was like that's cute purple stuff.
Yeah, purple stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Next
I'm sorry.
question.
I'm sorry.
That's right. I don't even know what it is.
It's like
Is it mouthwash?
Yes, it's a mouthwash, but it's purple.
the purple
Purple.
mouthwash.
So
There are a couple
the
different
purple
brands.
Listerine mouthwash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one. But I don't buy
They
the
don't get to
Listerine
that
'cause
till
that's,
the-
that's too expensive.
They don't get to that till the second year of
Oh,
dentistry.
yeah.
Chris is getting back alley black market.
Where did you
purple.
meet this dentist?
to mouthwash.
Quote unquote
Yeah.
dentist.
He makes it in his bathtub.
Yeah. You need the purple stuff.
You need the purple.
Your teeth, they're gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna change it. Your mouth's gonna love it. So that's awesome. You're gonna be, but you're not gonna have a practice in Virginia Beach.
I don't know where.
You don't know
Yeah,
where.
I don't know where I'm going to go to dental school yet. You know, I'm
okay.
applying to all different states up and down the East Coast, some kind of West Coast.
Well,
but
now, what drives you from pole dancing in the world that you're in now to dentist? I mean, I guess you went to school.
yeah. So dentistry
Yeah.
definitely came first.
Yeah.
In high school, so I went to like a math and science academy, and they're like, you have to do a capstone project, and your capstone project, you can either like shadow someone or do research. And at the time, I was like, research? What? No. So I was like, let me go shadow someone, but I had no idea who. And it was like a week before we have to submit this, and my advisor was like hunting me down. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know. And because I never really knew what I wanted to do in life. Like I more had a list. Like I knew I wanted to work with
Hey,
people.
that's okay.
Yeah. But like I had a list. I wanted to work with people. I wanted to help people. And I either wanted to make enough money that I could travel or have a job that I did travel. And so
Yeah, wait till the end of the
Yeah.
announcement.
Yeah.
and
Pause.
and I just happened to have a dentist appointment that week, and I was like, I love the dentist. And I did. I was the kid that
That's
loved the
awesome.
dentist, but I had a lot of dentist trauma growing up. Like,
Oh, okay.
like one of my first baby teeth came in, and I immediately like fell off a coffee table and knocked it out. So I went to the dentist way younger than a lot of kids, and then I had braces. I had a
You have very
frenectomy.
straight teeth.
Yes, it's an $8,000 smile.
No, that's good. Now you have very
I had
straight teeth
braces
too,
too.
Mom
Yeah.
Freckles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Jay.
Yeah.
No. Jay's like, no. Me and
But
Mike are both.
Did you
no,
have
no,
braces
don't even
when
look.
Yeah.
when they were still metal and with the wires? Or
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because now they've got fancy braces where
Oh, yeah.
Invisalign and all that stuff.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
And I mean, our teeth got torn up. It was like ground beef inside my mouth for like
No,
5
really?
years. Yeah, because your gums would get caught on like
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty
This is
rough.
traumatic.
Let's
as
go from stripping
novel.
to dentistry.
Wow,
Oh yeah.
I'm not
That's
sure
what
how
I
to
love.
make that
I
change
love it.
from that, but yeah,
Yeah.
there it is.
I'll tell you a good dentist story from Harrisonburg. I know a couple. They're both dentists. They were in Chicago. They wanted to buy a dentist practice, and they had a checklist for the entire United States of America. And Harrisonburg was where they decided to come. They came and bought 2 practices
Ooh,
in
wow.
Harrisonburg.
Wow.
That was the ideal place to move to and it was personal reasons and business reasons.
Well, I'll throw out another
Yes.
positive dentist story. The dentist that I go to, I just signed my all my kids to go there as well. So we go there all at one time.
Instead of signing away your soul or your firstborn, you signed away your children's teeth.
I was like, yeah. I was like, let's all go to the same dentist. So they just graduated from the pediatric dentist to the adult dentist, and so we all go in there together. And it was like we were all high fiving on our way out of there.
Who was it? Who
it
was
was Rocktown Dentistry.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
it
They're
was-
great. They're great.
They're great.
They're great.
And the dentist, she rolls in. She's singing
Singing 80s music.
80s,
Yep.
Prince or
Yep.
something. She's
Yep.
like, raspberry beret. They're like doing this to my mouth. I'm like,
Yep.
okay, let's do this
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
And then
It's definitely what she does.
I
It
love
really
a
is.
cheerful
Yeah.
dentist.
Yeah.
And I'm a little suspicious of a cheerful dentist, but I still love a cheerful dentist.
Yeah, I think dentistry also gets a bad rap. To be fair, like a lot of people like do have bad dental stories,
Yeah,
but like
sure.
the profession has come a really long way. Yeah, so I guess I didn't pick easy things. Like between pole and being stigmatized, and then every time I tell people I want a dentist, they're like, "Ew, I hate the dentist," and I'm like, "Oh, are your teeth dirty?" Like,
Yeah.
you know. And people don't take dental, and it's also like I don't know, America insurance issues. Like the whole
Yeah.
system is that why do we split up like eyes, teeth, like medical,
yeah.
like we could go into that. So that's why also sometimes it's not taken seriously.
No,
But
absolutely.
gum disease is the number one cause of heart disease, and there's studies showing that gum disease is leading to Alzheimer's that have just come out as well. So floss, okay.
Don't forget to floss.
Purple
Yeah.
stuff.
purple stuff.
And well, I'm not sure about the purple stuff, but don't forget to floss.
No, it's you know what?
Sure,
It's the purple stuff is nothing but
You're thinking of that.
Booze.
no,
and mint.
no. What is the stuff that fluoride? That's it. It's just a fluoride. That's it.
Oh.
That's it. It's fluoride. It makes
Okay.
your mouth feel good.
Okay.
Can't get that out of Florida water
I
anymore.
once remember a story about a little elf that wanted to be a dentist.
That's right. I just want to be a dentist.
He didn't want to make toys.
Herbie.
Hermie.
Have a
Herbie,
holly
Herbie.
jolly Christmas.
That's
There
right.
it is.
Best
Okay,
time
we've
of
lost
the
this segment here. Okay. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's awesome to meet you, and it's great to hear about, like I said, a thriving community I knew nothing about, and it's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
And good luck with your dentistry. We need more women dentists.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do. Women in STEM.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, that's so great.
That wraps
Thank
it
you.
up.
That was a sneaky move
Yeah.
you did right
yeah.
there.
Yeah. I just
Not
didn't
telling
want you
us
guys to get in
anything.
your heads
Not
about it.
telling us
And
anything.
I love how Vian presents information as well. Like she's very intelligent, and I knew that I would probably butcher things if I
Oh, I
tried
see.
to tell you
I see.
what, why, who, what, when, where, why.
It's all good. Very happy
Good.
surprise. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Sad
Yeah.
little chiming from the clock in the hall. The bells in the steeple too.
We may have lost Jay. It's okay.
Oh, are we done? Let's get our. Is that time? Okay, so Vian Ozic.
Ozic.
Oh,
You said it right earlier.
Okay, I had to screw up. I'm an old man. Thanks so much for being here. It was really a pleasure meeting you, another fellow Mennonite from Saskatchewan.
That was the joke. Right?
Once
That
again,
was it.
this is Bingo is Life, the podcast. Come down here to Ruby's Arcade, our sponsor in scenic downtown Harrisonburg, to play Bingo is Life, the game, every Tuesday night at 7:30, and plenty of chances to win free pizzas and lots of other cool stuff. You can catch us anytime you want on the internets, every streaming service that there is.
That's all of them.
We'll see you next week, kids.
Bye. Bingo is Life, a post-bingo Harrisonburg podcast, is brought to you by the Brothers How to Show and our friends at Ruby's Arcade in downtown Harrisonburg, Virginia. If you've enjoyed the show and feel it's worth spreading a little joy in this world, Please tell just one person that you like this podcast. Word of mouth, more than any other form of promotion, is how creative works get noticed and sustain themselves. Thank you, Andrew Hickey, for that bit of wisdom, and thank you, listeners, for being part of the fun.